on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation. The exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Most forms of vitamin B12 are highly processed and synthetic and could not be properly absorbed by the body. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin, the most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. Discover the secret. Secret 12. Supplies of Secret 12 are very limited. Secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with Super Male or Super Female Vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
One of the big signposts of living in a hardcore tyranny is capital controls. And the TSA now admits that's going to be part of their job. They claim if the IRS has an investigation going on you, not an indictment, not a criminal investigation, just has your name in a file, you won't be able to fly out of the country. Now they're talking about if you haven't had vaccines, you can't fly. It's all outside of law. And the New York Times comes out and says, yeah, they take old ladies' money with no criminal records, and even after tax money, the IRS just takes their accounts. Tens of thousands of people a year. And now the feds are giving speeches. Assistant Attorney General Leslie Cadwell gave a speech in which she urged banks to alert law enforcement authorities about a problem. This is a quote, so that police can, quote, seize the funds or at least initiate an investigation. So the cops pull you over and just grab the money out of your car, and then the feds get 20% of it, locals get 80%. That's federalization. As Black highlights, according to the handbook for the Federal Financial Institution Examination Council, such suspicious activity includes transactions conducted or attempted by at the bank or an affiliate and aggregating 5,000 or more. People think it's still 10, so they get under that like they're trying to hide when you're doing nothing wrong. You'd be insane not to have 5–10% of your cash, you know, in a safe or something. Black provides a chilling scenario under which an attempt to withdraw your own money from your bank account could end with a home visit from the cops. And then they go through it, how they're doing it. And again, under asset forfeiture seizure and the drug laws, you see these cases where the cops pull you over. It's usually really corrupt jurisdictions that fully do this. and it'll be an old lady, and they'll say, what's in your purse? And they'll see $2,000, knowing old ladies carry a lot of cash because they're smart from the Depression, and they'll just take it. So if you don't like it, go see the judge. The judge will say, we're going to test that, ma'am. This has come out on the news hundreds of times. We find any drug residue, we're going to take your card and indict you because the federal law says we can, which it really doesn't, but they misinterpret and have kept juries that'll do it. And a lot of times they say, okay, go ahead and do it. Then they'll test the money. And, of course, almost all money has some drug residues on it. They'll say, all right, we're indicting you. My cousins are all on the jury. And that's what goes on from upstate New York to East Texas. And those are the bad cops. And the feds wrote it all. They did it all. It is beyond Boss Hogg and Roscoe Pico train. Those are angels compared to this. And then the big banks, pull up Bloomberg, $378 billion. Wells Fargo, Wachovia, laundered drug money. Didn't even get in trouble from 2005 to 2008 when they got, quote, caught. I mean, they were leasing and running the drug aircraft. You know, the cops will be out here looking for drugs on the street when the big banks are laundering the money by the trillions every decade. $500 billion a year in drug money in the U.S. alone. Our troops loaded on the C-130s and fly it here. When they couldn't hide it anymore, they just put it on the news. Going back to Gerald Celente, this is about social control. Whether people believe in the Bible or not, it's the same thing, where everything's tracked, everything's traced, everything's looked at by the NSA, all these other agencies. They follow everything you do. They built back doors into everything, letting the hackers get into the back doors and create all the financial crises we see, with credit cards getting canceled every few weeks now and debit cards. So cashless is a disaster. And then if we want to have cash, because it's fun to give somebody a tip in cash or fun to, give bonuses in cash at Christmas, I'm supposedly dirty to take after-tax money and give it to people. I mean, this is so sick. We live in a prison in this country. It's like Forbes saying the war on lemonade stands. They don't want barter. They don't want grassroots. What's really behind it, Gerald Celente?
I believe that this latest issue about notifying the police with withdrawals is fear of a banking crisis. And that's why I was relating to what has happened to me in the past. They cannot afford to run on the banks because there is no dough in the banks to really cover this. You look what happened, Alex, at the end of 2014, when all of a sudden, Jamie Legs Diamond over there from the J.P. Morgan Chase gang actually gave Congress the language to put in about credit default swaps to be part of the balance sheet in banks. So essentially, all these trillions in derivatives and credit default swaps that the banks are gambling with, now they're covered by, supposedly, FDIC. And then you add on top of that the legislation with the bail-ins that allows the banks to grab your dough if it can't be covered by insurance. I believe that this is being done to dissuade people from taking their money out of banks and to penalize them when they do. Because I believe there's going, and it's not only me, it's Dr. Paul Craig Roberts.
Well, we've seen the bail-ins in Cyprus and other areas. This is the globalist model everywhere else they've been. I mean, Obama's talking about tax increases by executive order, totally illegal. They're talking about grabbing education funds, calling them trust funds. I mean, they are really gearing up, Gerald.
Exactly. And again, you look at David Stockman's work, all of us. We're all saying that this Ponzi scheme is going to collapse. You see what happens, Alex, even when they hint about raising interest rates. The market goes into panic because the low interest rates have allowed this Ponzi scheme to continue to go. And now they're doing it, of course, over in Europe with their quantitative easing, and over there, it's one country after another. So what we're saying is this is going to collapse. When it collapses, there's going to be panic. When there's panic, people will go to the banks.
That's right.
When they go to the banks, they're going to get nothing.
Well, it's clear that we've got a lot of special interests that are out of control, and I've studied history. Elites always think they're invincible. The white shoe boys that you call them, the Harvard gang, there's no way they're going to get away with this. I mean, they're even training, Gerald, to have the military take over domestically, as you know, and admitting it. But the military is getting screwed over worse than anybody. I mean, who would have the nerve to put even young men and women with treatable diseases on do not treat list at the VA? I mean, they are, our government is so illegitimate, Gerald. Where do you see all this going? I mean, Washington is so blackmailed. Congress, you know, wouldn't even stop the FCC grabbing the internet. They're just, Obama's dissolved the borders. They're about to sign the Pacific Partnership in secret. I mean, we are living in just a crazy time. Where is it all going?
Again, you know, we're looking at a collapse. And it's not only in the United States. Look what's going on around the world. Whether it's the Podemos party in Spain, whether it's UKIP in the UK, Le Pen's party got, what, 25% of the vote? You're going to start seeing more and more revolution take place. The people have had it. You know the numbers. What is it, 1%? According to Oxfam, is going to control 99% of all the money next year.
But, I mean, how can the elites then know that there's a class war against the middle class going on by the elite and then try to sick the giant underclass on the middle class and start a race war? That's not, that dog's not hunting. Clearly, the Democrats and George Soros, well, they admit it's been released, are spending hundreds of millions total and putting up fake stickers in Austin saying white only to get us all fighting with each other and divide and conquer, Gerald. I don't see Washington's balkanization plan working.
Well, it's not going to, and it is going to be chaos and more mayhem. There's absolutely no question about it. You even have guys like this Paul Tudor Jones, one of the, some name like that. You know, they always have these very important names like Tudor. And he's coming out, big hedge fund guy, warning about what's going to happen with the middle class dissolving.
And you know what Tudor means. That's British royalty, a British house that fell hundreds of years ago. But exactly, you look at the elite in our country, people always obsess over their ethnicity. A lot of them are connected to British royalty. And then you see our tabloids worshiping British royalty. It's like a Twilight Zone episode, Gerald.
It is. And it's exactly, look, Alex, the fish rots from the head down. It's a truism. We have become a murderous criminal class run by two mafias. I should say the Bloods and the Crips, the Democrats and Republicans. How many more people do they have to murder in the name of freedom and democracy? And how much more of our money do they have to steal in the name of too big to fail?
And they've maneuvered us into total bankruptcy. They're trying to hurt the dollar long term. What do you think their exit strategy is? I mean, do they have a method to their madness? Because I see the London Guardian and others reporting on what we've said forever. They're building secret underground bunkers and castles in the Ozarks. They're building landing strips in New Zealand in the middle of nowhere and putting in guardhouses with up to 20 armed, you know, mercenaries that they give endowments to live with them for life. I mean, the elite have been really good at screwing everybody over, but now they're going to have to live in armored fortresses. That's the scariest part for me, is that the elite are digging in, Gerald.
They don't have a clue what to do. It's out of their control. It's out of control. It is spun out of control. Look, tell me one victory in any field, whether it's military, not since World War II, with the exception, of course, of Grenada and Panama, healthcare, education, environment, everything they touch, they turn to failure.
But they've been good at robbing us. They've been good at robbing us, making us sick and dumb, and destroying the middle class.
They have destroyed the middle class. It's in front of us. The numbers, again, don't lie. You have a gap between the rich and the poor that, what, according to the Pew Research Center, is back to the Gilded Age days and even worse. The middle class is shot in this country. We don't even have a day of rest anymore.
Rome in its most corrupt years, you know, the 200s and 300s, had a bigger middle class than we have.
Yeah. So it has collapsed. And what, again, going back to this banking issue, I really believe it's there to dissuade people to try to get their money out. And by the way, that's why I believe in gold. And again, guns, gold, and a getaway.
Hey, even if it goes up or down, doesn't matter. At least you got something buried on the back 40 and everything goes to hell. Everybody knows gold and silver has value.
Well, think of it like this. You're getting negative interest rates over in Europe. You put your money in the bank, they're going to charge you to keep it there 0.25%.